Hi, folks. It's Snugs. I'm going to do a quick video on the 3 crucial steps to becoming a pro Zbarb. So let's go ahead and start talking about that. First of all, I just want to say that I do stream on Twitch pretty much every day. If you go to twitch.tv/its_snugs_TTV, you can find me. I'm there pretty much every night in Central Time, 8-ish o'clock. I don't have an exact schedule, but yeah, if you have any questions or comments or anything like that, feel free to come to my stream and ask them. Also, if you want to just leave comments down in the comment section, I will try to get back to them as soon as I can. But we're going to talk about the 3 crucial things that you need to start doing if you're thinking about Zbarbing or want a Zbarb or just built your first Zbarb. I am not going to talk about gear or skills much or anything like that in this video. What we're going to talk about actually is technique and theory a little bit more in this video. If you want to see me make a full Zbarb guide, I can totally do that. But we're going to talk about what you should be doing with your team in a Greater Rift to maximize damage output and utility and gathering and grouping and stomping and all those things. That's what we're talking about today. How to actually use your Zbarb is kind of what we're doing a basic little starter video on for right now. But what I'm going to do, let me explain the 3 things kind of in order that we're going to talk about today. The first thing that we're going to talk about is picking a spot. So a lot of people think that you just stop on the first elite that you see, you start your spot there and you start pulling. This is kind of a complicated thing to answer, whether you do that or not. If it's a juggernaut, you probably should. If it's something that's immovable, like an Abaddon, you probably should. Not always, but you probably should. If it's something like a Golgor that's also immovable, you probably should. So those things. But other than that, another one is Shaman. Shaman tend to not take pulls very well. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It's kind of RNG. But we're going to talk about where to pick your spot and why you pick that spot. The second thing we're going to talk about is pixel stomping, how to do it properly, how to get tight pixel stomps. Because it's more than just walking up to the pack and hitting your stomp and then calling it good. There's more to it than that. We're going to talk about DR, which is probably going to be part of this section. It may be part of the next section as well. But the third part is going to be about how to use your Ancient Spear, Rage Flip, how to use your time efficiently while mobs are DR'd, meaning you hit them once, you hit them twice, then they can't be CC'd anymore. Your Stomp is a form of CC, your Charge is a form of CC, and your Ancient Spear is also a form of CC crowd control. For people don't know what CC means, I'm assuming most of you know what CC means, but generally most mobs, most elites will take 2 CCs, and then after that they are DR'd. They have diminishing returns on them, meaning that they can't be moved, they're kind of going to do whatever they want. And so the idea is that we should be moving and doing other things outside of that initial point, step 1, to be building up that spot more, rearranging things, scouting, things like that, right? We're looking for pylons. We're looking for more trash mobs to stack on top of the elite for area damage and progression, things like that. So let's go ahead and open a GR and we'll get started. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, and if you don't, let me know. Ooh, we got a graveyard. Okay. So this is a good little start. This is small spiders. So we have 3 Yetis. They tend to not stack very well, but generally, because this is graveyard, we have all these little, crazy little tight spots, right? It's hard to move things around in this map unless they're in an obvious channel. These are onions. So they're actually a little bit harder to move. See how they didn't take the second pull? We'll talk about that later. But generally your team is going to stop on the first one because notice how they didn't move at all? Yetis tend to do that. If they're trapped in a spot like this, they're not going to move. Okay, so we've picked our spot. Now we're going to move out. We're going to find more things. Boom, we found another elite standing against the railing there. So we're going to go ahead and try to get them into our spot. If we can't, it's okay. Because after these are dead, we're going to move on to the next spot. Maybe I'll move out here and I'll try to pull these in, right? Or I'll pull him in and we'll make our next spot here. right? So we're intersecting where we can the elites and trash mobs. I might actually start lagging here if I build this up too much. We're picking an efficient spot where we can get the most in a fast period of time. That's the whole idea, right? So let's see if I can get him through. There's actually too much shit here now. Let's go ahead and move on. We got a 3-pack here. Scouting. We got a Juggernaut here. So most likely, I'm going to try to move to the Juggernaut, right? Because I can't move the Juggernaut. It'll follow. If it's something really slow, like a Golgor, right? It's going to take forever to get to me. So what you're going to do on your next spot picked is you're going to move to the Juggernaut. Trying to move the Juggernaut to, you know, the 3 blues that were sitting right here, probably just not going to happen. The next thing we're going to... Okay, I think that's a pretty good basic explanation, I feel like. All right, we got a blue pack right here. We're going to pull them in. We're going to talk about pixel stomping now. We are going to stomp on the outside of the pack. And the reason is because in order to pixel stomp tightly, you need to have a pixel to stomp onto. Okay, so if you just walk into the middle of the pack and stomp, it's not very tight, right? But if we find a spot, let me let it un-DR here, and then stomp on top of it, you see how tight that spot is? And then you can rage flip on top of it, do whatever you're gonna do, right? You can stomp again, whatever. Let me get a little health back here. So while that's DR'd, what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna start pulling in stuff to that spot. Stomp again, move on, pull more stuff in, bada bada bing. See how tight that is? Again, you want to stomp on the outside of the pixel, and while it's DR'd, because eventually this see how the shit's not moving anymore? There's no point in me standing here doing anything. I'm just wasting time by sitting here CCing them over and over again. So you want to move out, pull more stuff in, right? Come back in, pixel stomp again. Rage flip on top, whatever. That's how you're getting your tight groups and getting them fast. Again, you're going to want to move out. Pretend these are dead, right? Our team just killed them. We're going to pull in more stuff. 1 pull, 2 pull. These are a little DR'd. I'm actually on top of there. But you get the idea, right? Because it's DR'd, which takes about 5 seconds to un-DR-ish, you want to move out and start bringing other things in. There's no point in sitting there doing nothing. It's silly, right? Boom. Now we got a nice little tight pack there. Okay, move out, do it again, come back into the pack. You get the idea. See how insanely tight that is? It's all right here. That is, if you have a strong wizard, that shit's all dead so quick. Now, me being able to rage flip that quickly, that tight on top takes practice. Okay, you might get lucky here and there, but like, it takes time to get it that tight. So don't expect to be able to do that quick. That was actually a really lucky flip. But yeah, the next thing that we're going to talk about is how to use your spear. And there's one crucial thing that I kind of want to focus on here. And that's, I'm just going to pixel stack one more time. See how just godly tight that is? There's something called a charge flip. And that's where you use your spear and it pulls, right? But what a charge flip is you charge and pull at the same time. So while you are in the motion of charging and pulling, you're doing both at the same time. And what this causes the mobs to do is generally, if you hit it right, it's going to pull further. It's gonna, because the longer you extend that chain, the further that pull is going to be. So by adding more length to the chain, see how these just came way down here? That's why. So the problem with this is, there's one major problem, is I get 1 pull, then I can get 2 pulls. That wasn't a good example. Let me find a better lane. 1 pull, right? 2 pull, right? 2 clean pulls. But if I charge flip, then well, it didn't really show it because a lot of them weren't done in the first point. But it basically, what I'm trying to explain is that it will DR the first time, so you get 1 pull out of it. So what you want to do is you want to pull naturally 1 time, and then charge pull the 2nd time. That way you're getting maximum distance out of the pull if you need it. Now, let's say your point's right here. Obviously, I don't need to charge pull to get it to this spot, right? But let's say my spot's, way down here, right? Oh, God, I might die. Okay. Pull once, My charge didn't go off. Then pull twice. You get the idea. I didn't do it right, but basically the idea is regular pull first, charge pull second. That way you don't DR with the charge pull the first time. You'll get more distance that way. But those are kind of the three basic things you should start talking about. Ooh, we got a battlefields. And I'm actually just going to, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start displaying how to start getting a really huge pack very quickly. Got a lucky yellow there. So that's our center point set up. Boom. It's all DR'd. I'm going to go grab mobs, come back in, find an outside of the pack, rage flip on top. Boom. You've got your really nice set, your spot set up, right? It's all DR'd. I'm going to get some back pull in here, hopefully. That was a charge pull because I knew it would land there. See how tight that is? It's all un-DR'd. If I sit here, right, it's all DR'd and shit. It doesn't do anything. I'm sitting there hitting with my spear. It doesn't do shit. I'm also lagging right now. But yeah, this is our next spot. I'm going to set up here. Boom. We couldn't kill all the elites. So what I'm going to do, pull. Oh, I clicked off screen. Okay, come on. Pull. Charge pull. Right, we're setting up. Our wizards are down here. They're starting to bomb on stuff. Charge, pull. And we start making our next spot here. Then I'm going to go forward, start bringing mobs down. Right. Boom. Tight group. There we go. Now we left some mobs behind, so we come back. Boom. And then make sure to get that stomp on the outside. It'll make things a lot tighter. Rage flip on top if you need. See how our elites are kind of set up on the outside here? Walk to the outside. Boom. Nice and tight. Pull on top. Beautiful. Anyway, you get the idea, guys. Hopefully this helps. And if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments or come to my Twitch channel and I'll try to explain them further. But that is kind of basic steps on how to get going at Zbarb. Also, before I go, one thing to mention is if there's just too much stuff on the screen, it's really hard to pixel pull. Or pixel stack, I should say, because there's just no room to pixel, right? So a lot of this would be dead because my wizards are killing it. So this is not exactly like a good example, right? So what you can do is you can actually walk away, let things start following you, and then walk back to the other side, pixel stack, flip it on top, boom. You've got an insanely tight spot right here. But anyway, I appreciate you guys watching the video. Ah, crap. Yeah. If you have any questions, come to Twitch or leave it in the comments. But until then, it's Snugs. Have a great day, guys.